Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to another video. It is Thursday the 15th of May and it is 1:15, or for the Americans out there, it's 5:14 a.m. This photo, by the way, I remember taking this photo and thinking, fucking hell, I look like a bag of shit. I'm never posting that. Nobody ever wants to see this. But now I actually look fucking a year later and I think, that's the best I've ever looked. My brain whilst dieting is absolutely tapped. Anyway, just preparing meal number one. If you have followed the channel recently, I actually recorded this for a YouTube video. So definitely go and check that out if you're interested in finding out my muscle building protein breakfast in the morning to start my day. So plan of action in today's YouTube video, we are going to be training chest and back. So I'm actually going to take you through how to program that, because I don't think I have gone through that on the channel yet. Well, I'm going to cover things like when and why you need to deload. So me and Vicky are heading to Poland this weekend. If you didn't know, I date a Polish girl and her family are in Poland. So for us, it's important to be present and be in the moment. And for me, just going to train, yes, I could obviously do that, but it's going to take away from spending time with family. And what we really, Vicky doesn't really see much of her family. I don't see them either. So it's really important to be just present and be in that moment. And there's many times that I can go and train, very few times that I can see and Vicky can see her family. That's our plan. And then I don't know what else I've got to say. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, please subscribe, and of course, let's get into it. Let's get fucking massive. Oh yeah, I've had a food increase. That was what I was meant to say. I've had a food increase. I would in this first meal have an apple, but obviously I've not got an apple because I made some food adjustments. So we're going to run you through a bit of an update in terms of where we're at in the off season as well with food and my plan of action, obviously going into a bit of a mini cut and yeah, all that sort of good stuff. So please, as always guys, like, subscribe, and let's fucking get into it. Where are my supplements? Sorry, I've absolutely just left this in a fucking mess this morning, didn't I? So in here, I've got the liver stack, I've got the kidney stack, I've got the heart stack. That is all my cycle support. And as well as that, I've got a multivit and I've got a joint stack as well. Now, are these supplements absolutely essential? They're not, to be honest with you. I'm very OCD about my health and the things that I do. To be honest with you, I'm quite scared. That's the real reason. So if I can take something that's gonna maybe help with the risk reducing things that I'm doing to my physique. Does that make sense? I think that made sense. It made sense in my head and I'm definitely going to do it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let's get into it. Fuck. Apparently if you tilt your head to the side and swallow tablets, it goes down a lot easier. I was meant to do it then, but I fucking totally forgot. So I've just recently started watching a lot of MMA. I'm watching knockout videos on YouTube. But what I do want to know, if any of you guys are UFC fans, who should I watch? Who's a good fighter? What matches are good to watch or worth watching so I can get into it a little bit more? Because I'm a complete fucking beginner when it comes to this sort of stuff. So I have no idea who's good or who this guy is, for example. So any of you UFC fans out there, please do let us know.
To the dirty.
So I wanted to dive into some of the things that I was grateful for this morning that I wrote in my journal. And number one is having Wiki in my life. So I remember when I was single and went to a bodybuilding show and I sat there on my own and I looked around and I see couples over there having a good time. I saw friends over there having a good time. And I don't really have many friends. I don't really socialize with a lot of people. And I was sat there and I was very, very lonely. And I thought to myself, I wish I had a partner that I could do this with. And now I do. And I'm really, really grateful for that. I have someone that shares the same passion, the same hobbies, the same lifestyle as me. And that's a true blessing because I remember being single and I was like, I'm never going to find a person that is interested and invested as much as what I am. And now that I have, I'm really, really grateful for that. So don't take those things for granted, especially when you've got someone that you've always dreamt of having in your life. The second thing, as you guys know, is the dogs. The dogs' health. They're in the prime of their life at the moment, and seeing them happy, seeing them healthy, seeing them enjoy their life really makes me grateful, because I know at some point, eventually, unfortunately, that's going to end, which is very, very sad, and I hate fucking thinking about it. I'm really grateful for the dogs in my life, and I can't wait to share the day with them and go for walks. The career that I have as well. So I have a lot of freedom with my career, and could I earn more? Could I have a better car? Could I have a bigger house? Yes, absolutely. And that's something that I'm working towards long term, but I am very present in the moment and say, you know what, I'm very grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm very grateful to actually do the job that I love. And I've always said freedom's priceless. And one thing I told myself when I was 18 and I left college was I am never working a day in my life ever again. And since then, I have absolutely loved every single day of my life because I'm doing what I want to do in my life. And that's run my own business, that's do something that I enjoy, because I couldn't imagine waking up and going to a job that I fucking hate. And that brings me so much happier. So I'm very grateful for the position that I'm in, and also very grateful for you guys that have helped me and supported me over the years to get to that point. So yeah, let's go on with the rest of the day. Hope you can take something from that. So the time is like 8 AM and already I've drunk like literally 2.5 liters. Like, it's fucking easy. And so many people are like, oh, I can't drink water, or I struggle to get my fluids in. And I'm like, what do you drink from? I drink from a glass. Well, I ain't fucking surprised if you can't get your water in if you drink from a 200ml glass, because you're gonna drink it and you have to keep refilling it. Buy yourself one of these. Go on Amazon and type in 2.2 litre jug, or you can head to Supplement Needs if you wanna buy this one, and you can buy it yourself. Trust me, you'll be able to get your fluids in. And I go through 3 of these a day, very easily. It's not hard, I just literally fucking drink it, and I haven't got to fill it up every 2 minutes. So yeah, get yourself one of these and fucking get your fluids down, especially as the weather is starting to come banging. You need to stay hydrated, so don't be a lazy bastard, all right? Our usual meal two of the day: jasmine rice, beef mince, veg, some kimchi, some red onion, and some dark chocolate. I think one of my favorite like bodybuilding meals has to be beef mince and rice. I don't think I ever get bored of beef mince and rice and veg. But what we do like to do is add like these little sides, like I've shown you before, just to add a little bit of flavor. So we add like kimchi. In the fridge here, we've got a few other bits as well. So I've got like some beetroot going on here. We've got some sauerkraut. We've got some fresh pickles, and as well as that, we've got a little bit of pineapple and turmeric sauerkraut as well. So we've got like these little side dishes, I like to call them, where they add a little bit of flavor to it to make it a bit more exciting, a bit more pleasing to the eye. Take 3. Take number fucking 3 of this, because my camera keeps flapping. Electrolytes, use this every morning, stay hydrated. Don't just fucking constantly drink water, you know, because as much as, yeah, drinking loads of water is great, you're just gonna be pissing non-stop. Electrolytes is actually what's gonna properly hydrate you. So even like when we go on for a walk, I'll always bring like a bottle with me with like a serving of electrolytes, just to get more fluids in and actually stay properly fucking hydrated. So make sure you get your electrolytes. So got back from the walk, I ate my pre-workout, feeling a little bit, I don't know, like a bit bloated today for some reason. I don't know why, I just don't feel, I feel a little bit sluggish. That's the best way I can put it. Just a little bit like, I just walked up the stairs then, I'm just like out of breath. You know when your stomach's full, you're just out of breath. Yeah, the part and parcel of an off-season, a bulk really, is that sometimes you're just uncomfortable, you know? I remember being in prep and it's just like, I eat food, I just inhale it. I can like literally go to the gym like 20 minutes after eating, whereas when I get deeper into my bulk, my off-season, I need to wait 60 to maybe 90 minutes before. I always say to people, go when you're ready when it comes to training. Like, don't time it. Like, whenever you're ready, just go. Like, your body will tell you when you're ready to train. So for me, usually 60 to 90 minutes. If I'm bulking, if I'm dieting, it'll be like 15, 20 minutes I really could, but I normally give it about 60 minutes. Anyway, pre-workout routine. So before I go to the gym, I always have like a set little routine that I like to do before going into the gym, which really helps me fucking switch on my mind, because going to the gym is just not about just going to work out. Like, I don't go and work out, I go to train. I think that's the big thing that I say to myself. I'm going to train, I'm not there just to work out. A few things I do. Number 1, coffee. So I like having caffeine about 60 to 90 minutes. As we know, caffeine takes a little bit of time to peak in your system. So 60 to 90 minutes is usually my go-to. I then will fill out my logbook. So if anyone gives a fuck about how I sort of fill out my logbook, this is sort of roughly how I fill the logbook out. So I have the exercises down the left-hand side here. And rather than wasting paper by just having one workout on here, one workout on here, I split it into like 5 different sections. So this is week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. So I get 5 weeks out of just 2 pages there, which is so much more efficient when it comes to paper. And also what it does, it saves me from having to fucking flaff about and go, well, what did I do like fucking on this page here? And I have to go back to here, then go back to here. You know, I can just literally stay on the page and go, right, this is what I did last week, this is what I did the week before, this is where I'm at now. So I like to fill out my logbook just to keep that up to date. And for me, I always write things down because I appreciate it a lot more. I know a lot of people nowadays, they use apps, things like that. But for me, writing things down, I just have a bit more appreciation, because if I did it on an app, if I get a text or WhatsApp message come through, my mind's somewhere else, if you know what I mean. Second thing that I do is watch someone that I'm motivated by or inspired by. So at the moment here, I'm watching Train by JP, just some free content that he posts on YouTube, because I'm not signed up to the member site anymore because it got a little bit dry, to be honest with you. I'm on the YouTube, and they just post the little bits here and there that I watch before I train. So I always watch someone that I'm motivated by, because it gives me sort of like a oomph to go, okay, cool, I want to be better. So that's generally my rule of thumb. And then what I also would do is go for a little walk as well, just to move about a bit, you know, just switch off from that aspect of things, because I just fucking love walking, and I love seeing the dogs happy as well, to be honest with you. So that's the reason why I go for walks. Anyway, I'm gonna fill out my logbook, have this coffee, watch this, take the dogs for a walk, and we're in for chest and back today, which I am going to run you through. So of course, if you are watching this video still, please drop a like, please subscribe, and yeah, let's just get on with the rest of the fucking video, George, because we're trying to get fucking massive, mate. Fucking massive, you little cunt. I love a northern accent, it's brilliant. Since I moved up north, it's just great.
Made on the same.
You've lost the plot, mate. You've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. You've lost the plot. All I'm doing is this, mate. You've lost the plot. Honestly, guys, anyone want this dog for free, because he's literally lost the plot. Look at him. We are just out currently for the pre-workout walk. I don't bring my phone with me. What the fuck did I just say? I don't bring my phone with me on these walks, because I found in the past, like, I'm going for a walk, but then I'm fucking scrolling on social media. Like, what are you doing, you dickhead? And one of the key things that's really helped with me and my mindset over the years is actually fucking being present and being on a walk. I know it sounds stupid, but like, this is amazing. And I know I sound so fucking hippie. You're just probably thinking, George, shut the fuck up, mate. What the fuck are you talking about? But like, I've really struggled over the years with addictive behaviors, problems, things that I've just had to deal with and I've not realized has been a problem. And the key thing that's been missing for me, key thing, is that I've not been in control of this. And now that I'm in control of this and I'm working towards developing myself and developing, I can't get my fucking words out, bro. Develop, what's going on? I'm not even fucking joking. Developing my mindset. Honestly, since I've been in control, my whole like mindset and my perception of things has massively improved. So, words of advice from me: make sure you look after this, because the rest will take care of itself. Anyway, gonna round up this walk now. Dogs are gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna soak up a little bit of this. So here I've got my intra workout, which is EAA's highly branched cyclodextrin, which is a carb powder. What I do is I pour some of this actually into my pre-workout. So basically what I'm getting is I'm getting a little bit of carbs, a little bit of protein within my pre-workout. I'll put in about 200 ml of that. I'll sip this on the way to the gym, so I'm already getting some carbs in, which is gonna hopefully give me some more energy and have a fucking better pump, a better training session. Sit down. Good boy. Gentle. That's not gentle, bruv.
I tried to do a little thing of you getting in.
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
I was trying, but it didn't work out. I just saw a raw mail van. Where's our bloody delivery? Not beds. Trying to get cool montages for the gym. You know them ones? You got to fake it, right? I can't fake it for shit. I just end up feeling like a fucking knobhead. Anyway, what time is it?
Gym time.
Gym time, baby. Let's get fucking massive. Final session before we deload, so of course.
Start that again.
Final session before we deload. Put yourself in the bin. Proper. We have just got into the old gymnasium. Let's get fucking straight into it. So chest and back today. I'm gonna run you through how I program that. Lat pull down to start off with is just gonna be like a traditional wide grip lat pull down. Single arm lat row, which is mainly focusing on obviously trying to hit the lat width and the thickness of that lower lat. And then we're gonna finish off the back movement with a pronated upper back row. Then I'm gonna move on to some chest movements. So I'm gonna go on to an incline double press. I'm then gonna go on to a decline hammer strength type chest press. And then I'm normally going to finish up with a pec fly or like a cuff lateral raise for a little bit of side delt volume, as I don't really do a lot of side delt within this program that I'm doing. So sometimes I might do both, depending on the time, depending on how I'm feeling. I might do a pec fly or one or the other basically. I used to train and used to program exercise like this with doing my pressing movements first and then my pulling movements second. And the reason why I would do that is because I know when I'm fresher, my pressing movements are going to be better than doing them at the end of the session. But what I do now, and this is what I do with a lot of my clients, is I actually program back movements first and then chest press movements second. And the reason why I do that is because with your chest, for most people anyway, their chests are always tight. So you're shortening the pecs like this. Almost everyone's postures like this, shortening the pec, rounded shoulders. So if I train my pecs first, I'm just going to emphasize more of those rounded shoulders and shortening the pec. So instead, I do my back movements first, which helps actually open up the chest and bring those shoulders back. And I found since doing that, I've connected so much better with doing chest presses in general. Like the chest work that I do at the end of the session, I thought, oh, you know what, I'm not going to be as strong here because I'm doing it deep into the session. Turns out my strength isn't being affected, and as well as that, the connection that I get in my chest is way better. So if you are doing this setup, do your back movements first, do your chest press movements second, okay? And honestly, being a game changer. And even just my general overall posture, like my traps aren't as tight, my pecs aren't as tight anymore. So I am going to run you through the signs and symptoms of needing a deload, and something that you guys can take from this within your own journey to say, look, it's time to take a fucking step back here, because often or not people don't realize they need to take a step back, and then they're in the gutters, and the deeper the hole is, the harder it is to get out of. So we're going to break it down into sort of mental and physical sort of signs that you're going to see, and I'm going to start off with the physical ones. I think the main things that I notice within myself and my clients is that your body is just not recovering. Like your workload that you're doing in the gym at first feels great, but then all of a sudden you're just sorer for longer. Your body's not able to recover from it. You get round to that next training session, you get round to another leg or push session, and all of a sudden you're just not recovering from before. So those are some things just to look out for in that regard, is are you recovering well from your training sessions? The other thing that I would look at from a physical aspect is like joint pain, injuries. Now, I've noticed recently I've had a few niggles that have crept up during my time whilst deloading, and I'm on my last day of the deload as I'm recording this voiceover right now, and like my joints just feel so much better, and you don't actually realize until you take that step back how much in the gutters you are when it comes to your joint pain and niggle pains in general. So if you're experiencing constant niggles or battling joint pain injuries, then I would 100% think about taking sort of step back. Another thing to look into is just like your training sessions, like physically how you feel within yourself. So often when I go into a training session, like I physically just can't switch it on. Like mentally I can switch it on, but physically as well I just can't switch it on. So what I mean by switching it on is just that aggression when it comes to your muscles being explosive and being powerful, rather than just feeling dull and achy almost. So I would definitely look out for that aspect of things as well in terms of the gym. Now, we can look at from a performance and strength standpoint and say, look, if your numbers are starting to regress out of nowhere and you're sort of noticing that after maybe 6 to 10 weeks, because that's usually when the signs come around for deload, is usually between 6 and 10 weeks for most people. You get to a point where your numbers start regressing, you're just like, why are my numbers regressing? What the fuck's going on here? It could be down to the fact that you need to take a step back, reset, and may need a bit of a deload. So don't overestimate, and this is why the logbook is important here, because it will give you that feedback to know what is working and what isn't working, okay? So just bear that in mind as well when you're looking at that data, going, right, okay, do I actually need to deload or not? I think another thing that I track is, for example, my Oura ring. So you see me wear a ring which tracks all my data. And another thing that I look at physically is like my resting heart rate. So if my resting heart rate creeps up and my readiness goes down and my body temperature is elevated, it could be signs of needing a deload. So whilst these tools aren't 100% accurate, I would recommend using that data as like a pinch of salt and just going, right, okay, this may be a sign that my body's pushing too much. Like I do trust my Oura ring in terms of the data. It's probably the only tracking device that I've ever trusted. And normally they correlate between the two. So again, something to take into consideration when it comes to that. And there's the last one I would just say physically is like sleeping. So disturbed sleep is often one that I see a lot of people struggle with, because they struggle to sort of switch off from, go like from work and then going to the gym, then coming home and actually just sleeping and resting. So if you find yourself up at night and you just can't switch off like mentally, again, another sign of just needing a deload. And you probably won't even realize these sort of things until it kind of all correlates between the two. You're like, oh shit, you know what? I'm up late at night. I can't seem to switch off. My sleep is disrupted. I'm like waking up throughout the night. I don't feel like I've actually slept or recovered properly. Then absolutely, this could be a sign of it needing to pull back. And every time that I do pull back and take a deload, my sleep just instantly improves, okay? So something for you guys to be aware of as well. It's loud as fucking here, and I am sweating like a motherfucker. I don't know if my back can show you, but for the movements that I've done and how much I'm sweating, it's a problem. It's a problem in itself. So back movements were good. Really happy with them today, actually. Felt very good. Slightly higher rep ranges of like 12 to 15 on those movements, but it felt really nice. We now move on to our pressing movements, which for me is much more fun than back, to be honest, but it is how it is. Let's fucking send it. We're having a good session so far, finishing fucking strong. That's what it's all about. When you're setting up your incline dumbbell press or any incline movement, I'd always recommend 45-degree angle. So a lot of people do this, which in my opinion, a low incline is basically a bullshit way to say I can lift more weight and call it an incline, when really this is basically like a flat press, especially how people arch their back. It's definitely a flat press more so. This, however, is an incline press. That's a proper incline press, okay? So do it fucking properly, you cunts. Looking into the mental aspect of things, big ones. So for me, I actually not dread training, but like I'm more fixated on what other people are doing in their training sessions. Like sometimes I'm too fixated on matey boy behind me doing dumbbell pressing or someone doing it in a particular way than what I am in my own session. I have that lack of aggression mentally going into a set, especially when it comes to the bigger movements. I kind of just want to get it done and dusted. It's kind of a bit like a fucking tick box exercise. You kind of get what I mean when it comes to that. Like mentally you're just tapped out, whereas, you know, before you was like, okay, I'm really locked in now, I'm going to give it my absolute all. So again, little things like that are huge when it comes to like, you know, I think we'll call it lack of motivation. You know, it's just like not motivated to go in there and absolutely send it like you were before. I think the other one is just like mental fatigue and just burnout, you know, and this could be contributing towards other aspects of life as well, like work, studying, all that sort of stuff. You may notice with yourself, you might just be a little bit like burnt out and you just need to take that step back. And sometimes, like I said, like a 4-day deload can improve not only the gym aspect of things, but your own personal life and what you've got going on as well. And that can correlate to like mood swings, just irritation by like little things that you don't normally get pissed off. Like if you've got a pet and they're all of a sudden pissing you off, you know, that could easily be contributed towards just like that mental sort of sign and fatigue that you've got. So I just came outside just to get a bit of fresh air because today I'm fucking boiling for some reason. Just did the incline dumbbell press and it felt so much better than what it did last week. And one thing that I say to my clients, one thing that I say to you guys is movements, especially new movements like dumbbell pressing, free weight pressing in general, or any exercise you do, it will get better with more time. Like some people fucking sit there and go, well, it doesn't feel good, it feels shit. And then I'm like, well, you've only done it once, you know, so give it fucking more time. Honestly, the second time I do it, it gets better. The third time I do it, it gets better. So some of these movements, and it will vary from person to person. Some people just click like that. Like you notice you just see someone in the gym and they'll just press a weight or they'll do an exercise and it's just so fluid, it's so easy for them. Others like myself, it fucking takes weeks for me to get used to it. So this is the second week of me incline dumbbell pressing. First week was alright, second week was much better. I was stronger, I connected well with it, and I was more locked in. So remember, just give it some time. Don't be fucking going and jumping to conclusion after just doing it for 1 week, because chances are it'll just get better with more time. So yeah, food for thought. Let's head back in. Got 2 more exercises left. It's going very well today. As you can probably tell by my confidence in my voice, it's going pretty fucking well. So how would we deload? Now, there are 2 methods that I usually like, well, 3 methods actually. Number 1 is taking 4 days off completely, or a week, depending on how battered you are. I typically like 4 days because when I go to like a week, I like detrain myself and it takes me a lot longer to get back into it than compared to 4 days. So usually 4 days is what I recommend to most of my clients, and that would be 4 back-to-back rest days straight, run your rest day food, and just focus on just, you know, resting, getting some better night's sleeps, focus on actually maybe doing something outside of your bodybuilding routine, because as we know, bodybuilding or training in particular, it takes so much time, you know, it takes so much effort and time out of your day that you don't really focus on fixate on other things. So maybe spend time with the missus, maybe start a side hustle or side project, maybe read a book, you know, whatever it may be. I want you guys to fixate and focus on that. You can obviously take a devolume week, which is something that I usually implement for competitors, because taking 4 days off whilst you're in a prep is quite difficult mentally to accept. So a devolume is basically a fancy word as just saying just running lesser volume in your training session. So like 1 working set on some of your exercises. That would be another good method to sort of implement. But like I said, you know, everyone's going to be very different. I personally prefer the 4-day deload. It works really well for my clients, and that's something that can help you get locked in as well. So yeah, just trial and error and see how things sort of feel for you guys. But remember that the phrase that I sort of think about is that you can only put your foot down on the accelerator for a certain period of time before you've put your foot on the brake. And often we don't want to put our foot on the brake, but sometimes that foot on the brake actually allows you to go so much further, and sometimes we just need to go in cruise mode and just chill out a little bit. So I'm hoping you enjoyed this voiceover. Make sure you are aware of those signs and symptoms, and take a break. Just take a break, take a step back, because it will do you honestly a world of good. As always, guys, hope you are well, and I'll see you in the rest of the video. Good session. Final session before we deload. So yeah, sent it today and very sweaty, I must say. So God, ain't that big, George. Fucking hell, trying to struggle to get the top off. Of an update, I am now down to TRT. So I think I'm on like week 3 now at TRT, true TRT. And this is what we're looking like. So 83 kilos, like I've said, we just made a food increase. So I'm hoping this final push we'll be able to pack on a little bit more size, and most importantly, just finish on a high. That's all I care about. So a little bit of an update. That posture, bruv, like I said, I'm like this. Honestly, my posture's so fucking bad. On the back. Yeah, that shot's come on a long way for me actually. This shot used to be fucking terrible for me, I used to hate it. But as I put on a little bit more size now, not looking too bad, not looking too bad. My arms do feel a little bit flat. Sorry, the mic's all the way down here. My arms do feel a little bit flatter since I've not trained arms in about 2 weeks now, like directly. Obviously I've done a little bit through any sort of row, any sort of chest press, so they do look a little bit flatter, but in the main areas that I'm really trying to focus on right now is just bringing up that back, just like more thickness and width to the back, because again, that's an area of weakness in my physique. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the size that I put on so far, and I'm still in a good body composition. Like, this is by far the best that I've stayed body composition wise in a growth phase, and that comes down to not being stupid in my rate of gain. Like before, in the past, I used to be very stupid with how much I would gain post-show, to be honest with you. So I've only been gaining very small amounts, about 1% of my scale weight across a 4-week period, which has been nice. I've not really got too excessively. Obviously the PEDs, I'll be honest with you, like the steroids, they do play a part, absolutely. Like, there's no beating around the bush about that. Like, I'm able to stay a lot leaner than what I ever have before because of the steroids. So that's definitely a big contribution that I'm not going to beat around the bush. But you just learn as you get more advanced. So I think the big thing that I say to a lot of you guys watching is that just make mistakes, because you'll learn from it, trust me. Like, the progress that I've made is all through learning mistakes, and that goes with anything in life as well. Like, be open to making mistakes, learn from it, and you'll become better for that, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's where we're at in terms of physique. I'm pretty happy with where things are at. I need a deload, feeling a little bit battered at the end of this as well. Joints hurt a little bit. So like I said in the voiceover, those are the symptoms and signs that I would look out for if you are thinking about deloading and how to deload. So we're going to take 4 days off from tomorrow through till Tuesday, and then obviously back into the mix of things and back into picking up the intensity and finishing nice and strong for this off-season phase. So if you have enjoyed this part of the video, of course, make sure you drop a like. It really does help. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. And if there's anything that you guys want to see as well, then please don't hesitate to drop us a message on either Instagram, George Osborne 12, or put down the comments below. It would really be grateful, because sometimes they give me a bit of ideas, because I get a little bit lost sometimes with YouTube. Anyway, let's crack on the rest of the video. Hope you enjoy. So straight back home, straight into post-workout meal. Already had our rice cooker, green beans, all on the go there. So that's ready to go. Just got the beef mince that I need to cook up, which literally takes fucking 2 minutes anyway. What should you eat post-workout? Now, a lot of the clients that I work with, I always get them to have high calories, high carbohydrates, easy protein. A lot of people question vegetables post-workout and whether you should have veggies or not, because it slows digestion. In my opinion, I've never really had any bad experiences with digestion post-workout with vegetables in it. So I would recommend having vegetables if you do want to have vegetables. Now, you don't want to have too many vegetables, in my opinion, because sometimes having too much veg sends you the opposite way, where you have the shits or the runs, or it just doesn't sit well with you. 100 grams of vegetables, in my opinion, no problem. So yeah, make it your highest carb meal of the day. The reason behind that is you've created demand from your training, so you want to shuttle the carbs back into the muscle. I recommend having low fats in your post-workout meal. The reason behind that is fats play a role with blunting the uptake of carbohydrates and slows down your digestion. So post-workout, you don't want to do that when you've created a demand. You want those carbs, those glycogen to go straight into the muscle and start that recovery process. So just make sure that you're having a low fat source, okay? Here he is, my best mate. Come on. You always come and say hello, don't you? You're a good boy, ain't you? You're a good boy. You're our favourite, ain't you? One of my favourite things to do, come feed the horses. I do it literally every single day with me and my mate, don't we? What are we going to call you? I might get a horse myself, but you're fucking so expensive, bruv, ain't you? It's just been nice to actually pick up the camera and record without sort of like worrying about the perfect edit or the perfect vlog. I think the issue that I've had recently with myself is that I've been, maybe over the last sort of 2 years, is that I've sort of lost myself with the YouTube game. You know, I look back to some of the old videos that I used to post and I think they were such good videos. Like, why am I overthinking, overcomplicating it now when it used to be so basic and just engaging in that sort of way? You know, I've been sort of losing myself in terms of like, it needs to be the perfect length, if I like, little things like, even if I talk too much, like now it's like 40 seconds, like fucking hell, I'm talking too much, you know, there needs to be a bit more of an edit, a different angle, you know. I found myself sort of like focusing in too much on that, which may sound stupid to a lot of you guys, but I sort of then started to not showcase me and what I am about and what I do. And as you guys know, I do love a bit of a waffle, you know, I'm a bit of a waffler in the grand scheme of things, and that's just me. And like YouTube and recording myself is like my best friend. Like, I don't really have any friends in my life. Like, I don't want any friends, to be honest with you, but I've always been a lone wolf, you know. The only real people that I spend time with is obviously Vicky and the dogs, to be honest. That is simply, and I see my family a couple of times a year, or, you know, every other sort of month or so, depending on when that may be. So the camera is a real good outlet for me to express myself and just be me. It's like talking to my best friend, and it's almost like my therapy tool, if that makes sense. It's weird, it's very weird. So this week I told myself, you know, just pick up the camera and just be yourself. Like, just post, be yourself, express yourself, showcase your journey, showcase who you are, and that's it. You know, don't overcomplicate it any more than that. And you know what, I've really enjoyed YouTube this week. It's been thoroughly enjoyable in that aspect. So yeah, here's to more vlogs, and here's to being more of myself. So I think Vicky's joining us on a walk. The dogs have recognised who that is. Okay, Diesel, break. Who's that? Go find him. Who's it? Go find him. Go find her. Who's that, Mingy? Who's that? No, I don't think he did. Cute. Right guys, we are going to wrap this video up here. I am currently in Poland right now, so I'll get this video out. I'm trying to edit it. Hopefully it'll be out today as you watch this. If not, I do apologise. You won't even fucking notice any difference. Please do like if you have enjoyed today's video. If there's anything you guys want to see, I would love to hear it in the comments. Any questions, any of that sort of stuff. I might do a Q&A over the next week because I haven't done a Q&A in years. So if you've got any questions for me, let us know in the comments, or I might put a little post up on Instagram or YouTube or something like that. Of course, make sure you follow us on Instagram, GeorgeOsborne12. All links will be down below. If you are interested in coaching, head to the link in the description as well to find out more. And of course, any supplements, any accessories that you see in today's video, gym straps, knee sleeves, all that sort of good stuff, head to the description, okay? Use our codes and support us. Send you my love, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.